G'day, I'm Kate Glarrock. How are you? I am off for a solo hike and I'm just beaming with excitement about this one. I'm on Gungundara country. I've got gear, equipment for 3 days. It might not be a 3-day hike. It's all very exploratory to me, so let's get into it. Rightio, so I really wanted to get out on a trail that was a bit different to where I normally go, and so I put the word out to my YouTube and Patreon community and I guess Instagram community, and got a few amazing suggestions from you guys, and I really appreciate the time you take. I want to say a special thank you to Campfire Jesus. He has his own YouTube channel, so check him out. He's helped me sort of plan a bit of this one. As I said, it's a bit exploratory. I'm not sure if I'm up for too much bush bashing. We'll see how it goes. So we've just deviated from the fire trail, and this is where things start to get nice and interesting. Pretty much off track for the rest of the journey today. Check out the size of this ant. Yeah, look at the nippers on him. Ouch. Duck crawls under all the vines. Oh. I'm getting a bit tangled here, but it's not too bad so far. Just these vines that are driving me crazy. Whew. Hear that? It's a lyrebird. That's cool. So I'm pretty early into the hike and I've just disturbed a lyrebird, and to me that's a pretty good omen because my daughter's favourite bird at the moment is the lyrebird, and I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully we see some more. One of the bushes in here is really spiky, and it's kind of infrequent enough that I'll get some confidence to push through, and then bam, I'll hit it again. Get a good spike. So I've just managed to bush bash through, it's not too bad, but just a bit of overgrown forest, and met up with this old fire trail. She's pretty easy going now for a second. Hopefully it stays like this for a couple of Ks. We are just starting to come into some interesting country here. Look at this escarpment and the weathered rocks in the background. It makes me pretty happy. Been going for a few hours now, and I can start to see a little gorge open up here, and what I'm going to try and do, I think the cliffs are a bit too steep just here, so what I'm going to try and do is skirt around, find a little access point into this little gorge, and yeah, hopefully set up camp in there somewhere. So give you a little look. This is pretty fun. I'm just zigzagging my way down the cliff line, but I don't want to stuff it up because every now and again there's a pretty decent drop off. I've just broken through to the creek line, and how pretty is it? It was a bit of a crazy scramble towards the end. It got a bit steep, but oh mate, I'm pretty happy to be in here. Look at this. It's incredible. Because I've dropped down into this gorge, I've lost the sun and a fair bit of light, so I think I better get my skates on. I reckon the place I want to camp is about a K downstream. It's going to be pretty slow going, and I think I've got an hour and a half of daylight, but in this environment I think it's going to get dark very quick and very early, so I've also been doing a bit of wading through the river, so I've got to just keep an eye on myself and make sure I don't get too cold. You can already feel a little bit of a nip in the air. Oh, magnificent though. There's always this mildly nervous part when I plan a hike in a new area that, well, A, I won't be able to get to where I want to get to, or B, it won't be, I guess, what I expect. And so far, this one is just blowing my mind. It's like better than I could have imagined. You know, I've travelled to like whoop Western Queensland to get to places like Carnarvon Gorge, and this is just, I don't know, I mean, I know it's not quite the same size, but geez, it has a very similar vibe, and it's just on my back doorstep. It's so special. I'm still rock hopping down this gorge. It's beautiful, but I'm definitely starting to get pretty tired. It's very slippery, and it's that sort of that critical time in a walk, I think, where you've got to be super careful, because I think that's where the accidents happen. So just taking a little break, might have a little snack. Incredible. Okay, well, I found a nice little sandy spot. I'm gonna set up my tent here, I think, and that'll do me for the day. It's been an amazing day, but I'm just feeling that deep fatigue right now. I need to warm up. I've got pretty much wet right up to my waist, and get some food in. Let's do it. I took a pretty good tumble today and banged up my knees a bit, but I think I'll be fine. It's just one of those moments where you take a fall and you're like, oh, you pause for a sec. Yep, everything feels okay. Such a deep gorge. I'm all set up here. Got my little tent here. Had to dig out a bit of sand. Little air pad, sleeping bag. I think it'll be nice and cozy. Look at the sun on the gorge. Whoa. Wow. I think I got a little bit tired towards the end of the day there. I probably should have stopped and had a snack earlier on, but definitely worth it getting to this spot. And that cliff face is just mental. Wow. I don't know if it can do it justice how high these cliffs are. My little tent's just over here, and the sun is just starting to set, lighting up this cliff line behind me and making it all beautiful and red. All right, I think it's time to maybe get a little fire going. Sweet as. Rightio, got the fire on, feeling good, cheers. It's been so cool watching the sunset. Well, not the sunset, but watching it paint these cliffs behind me. It sort of went from a sandy yellow to a deep glowing orange, and now it's just fading for the last few minutes. Nice little warm fire. I'll have a bit of a cook up and I reckon I'll get to bed pretty early. It's very cold. Oh, it's pretty chilly tonight. I think we recorded like a -2 or something in Canberra last night, so hopefully I'll be warm enough. It'll be a really good test for my new sleeping bag. Hopefully. It's an interesting one. It says it goes down to 2 degrees for warm sleepers. No, 2 degrees, yeah, for warm sleepers, or 8 degrees for cold sleepers / women. So I could be a bit cold, but I've got a few extra layers just in case. I really love testing these, and I normally don't test them in the field like this. I'll test them at home first, but we'll see how we go. So I've been super lucky. I got the opportunity to go on Alone Australia, and it was honestly life-changing. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it's changed me forever. Sometimes in our modern world I feel so overwhelmed with the tasks. I get wound tighter and tighter with all the deadlines and things that need to be done, and then coming out into nature it just all unwinds, and I feel relaxed and happy and at peace again. And I think for me, I need that balance. I sometimes, coming out here is hard. It's cold, it's tiring, it's a long day. I miss my family incredibly, but it helps me to appreciate everything that I have in my normal life, and definitely Alone Australia gave me that appreciation for everything. Anyway, when I found out I sort of, got accepted and off I was going, because I'm an ultralight hiker, I needed to bolster all my gear, because I wanted to take, I knew it was going to be bloody cold, and I knew as soon as you don't have calories in your body, you feel the cold even more. And so I went to a local Canberra gear manufacturer who have like a really big reputation for hardcore, indestructible gear. And so I was like, that's exactly what I need for this experience. And I spent a disgusting amount of money. And yeah, I was really impressed with that gear. And so, I've sort of swapped out some of my regular hiking gear for some of their gear. Some of it is a bit heavier than what I normally take, but they're actually doing some pretty cool sort of lightweight gear. So, I'm trialing that new sleeping bag. I've got the new tent. I really like the freestanding tent. It's a fair bit heavier than my Z-Packs tent. I think this one's like 1,400 grams, whereas my Z-Packs, I guess technically is 600 and something grams, but then you got to add in the poles, and it sort of comes up to about 1 kilo with all the bits and bobs. Just going with the easy hiking meal tonight because didn't want to have to stuff around with cooking. This is a radix. I'm a pretty big fan of radix. Well, it's been a pretty big day. I think it's only like 6:30 or something. I'm going to finish this and go to bed. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do is just keep rock hopping down here. I'm going to make this little loop walk. And this is where it starts to get a bit like... I believe I can get all the way down here and then find another, I guess, pass to scoot back up this cliff line. So I'm thinking it'd be about 3 k's down and then maybe 5 to 6 k's back to the car park, which is not a lot, but this rock hopping in the creek has me... It'll be fine. 3 k's. I can do 3 k's, but I think the couple of k's I did here, yeah, they were very slow going. It was fun though. I do love rock hopping, but yeah, it was a bit slippier than I would have liked, and wading through the water for several hours got a little bit chilly. I'm not selling it terribly well, am I? Many Australian native fish are actually tiny like this, and they're such beautiful, unique fish species, and it's actually a bit scary. Things like trout just prey on them and eat them. And so in a lot of states, a key threatening process to many native fish species is actually trout. It's pretty wild that we actively introduce a species that's having such a negative impact on our native species. Check out this little yabby thing. Look at him. Ooh, don't fall in the water. Just down. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh my god. This water body is just teeming with life. It's so beautiful to see. Hey little dude. Everyone's out hunting. I just had a little bit of a slip in the water and got my pants wet, so that's never a great start to the evening. I guess I'll have to take them off. I found this spider. I'm not very brave when it comes to spiders. That guy. Wow. Looks like he's hunting, or she's hunting. Pretty impressive. Look at the 2 front legs on the water there. I reckon just waiting for something to hit. I'm gonna do a little experiment to see. It's probably freak me out, but... Ah! Far out! Yep, that was it. Hunting. Woo, that was so cool. Good morning. Just boiled up some water. Gonna have a coffee. It was bloody cold last night. I think the weather report said it would get down to about 2 degrees. So this sleeping bag is like, I think 400 grams or something, like 465. Anyway, I'll put links to it down below. I guess there's always that balance when you're hiking, and I've been a victim of it. The ultralight world of, you know, weighing my undies and doing all that stuff. And I completely agree with weighing everything in your pack, because I think it's eye-opening to see what different things weigh and how you can switch things in and out. But I think maybe as I get older, I'm enjoying things like my pillow, really good camping mat. So, you know, I sneak a few beers into my pack, and I think there's horses for courses when you're hiking, and you know, the Z-Packs is definitely going to be my go-to tent when I'm doing, say, longer hikes. But I think I might, be rocking this guy a bit more on those sort of unknown exploratory ones. I lashed out in the real milk. Well, they're not powdered milk, let's say that. Cheers. This really is beyond what I expected. I mean, I knew it would be a rocky gorge. It really does remind me of Carnarvon Gorge. Rightio, just checking I haven't left anything behind. Back's feeling much lighter. Got my snacks. Let's do it. I'm off on the trail, and this morning we're just exploring this gorge, and I can't wait to see around every bend. I feel like there's a new view and a new exciting sort of little waterfall, and I just love exploring. Look, the sun's coming. Pretty excited for that. It's a wee bit cold down here. Well, I mean, look at that behind me, it's mental. Oh, I think these cliffs they're like from 100 to 200 meters high. It's beautiful. Look at that. So I've just hit this junction here. Another creek's come in to the main creek that I'm following. I'm going to keep going down this way. But what I'm going to do is just stop and have a little snack, because it's such a beautiful spot. I'll give you a look around. It's part difficult, you know, like log jams, rock scrambling, and then just piss farting around looking at the beautiful water holes. And I've got about 3 more k's of this gorge to explore, and then I've got a pretty epic climb out. So the choice will either be to camp on the river again tonight, or if I hit the way out at a reasonable time, I might just pop out there and head off home. The cliff behind me is absolutely bonkers. I'd say it'd be almost 200 meters. And it's pretty sheer, there's no sloping to it, it's just straight off. Starting to flatten out a bit. Hopefully the walking will get a bit smoother. Oh, feeling pretty tired, lots of rock hopping. My poor little legs are shaking. Might stop for lunch in maybe about an hour. I'm going to keep going just for another hour, and hopefully, I hope that I can get to the junction at that point. The river has levelled out a bit, the boulders chilled out to these little small ones, and I'm making much better progress. It's quite nice to feel that little bit of progress. Still got a pretty cool climb out of here to go, and there's apparently a really good lookout at the top of the escarpment. So looking forward to that, and looking back down, hopefully through the gorge that I've just come through. I'm at another amazing spot where 2 little creeks join together, and I don't know, there's something so special about being at this junction, because you know when you pore over the maps and you see them and you think, ooh, certain little spots. It's time to bid farewell to this beautiful creek, and my exit is somewhere up here. It's always a bit daunting when you're looking up at the cliffs, but hopefully we can just follow a bit of a ridge and get the crack there and avoid those cliff lines, hey? Well, so far so good. It's not too bad, it's just a bit slow going again. But I think I'm almost there, so I'm gonna treat the water that I collected in the creek, have a big lunch and enjoy the view. It's meant to be a pretty good lookout, I think. Just gonna check out the view and have some lunch. Not too shabby. Delicious lunch. That was a great little lunch spot. Now I'm back on the trail. Hopefully there's not much more climb here, and then we'll get up to the ridge, and then yeah, I'm not quite sure how far it is back to the car from there, but hopefully there's not much more bush bashing. I lost the trail a few times on the way up there, and It's never much fun, is it? I've made it back to this little fire trail and it's only about a K back to the car. I want to say thank you so much for watching. That was just such an epic gorge. I'm really glad I got in there. It was a bit challenging at times, but I definitely think it was worth it. Thanks a lot. Catch you on the next one. Yum.